Bloody amazing, people. 1kd-ftv injectors. These injectors are 20 years old. They've just come out of a 1kd that's still running. It's done 442,000 kilometers. Better late than never. It's a 2005 Hilux 1kd-ftv, and these injectors were manufactured in June 2003, which makes them 20 years old. So don't tell me 1kd injector problems. We're going to go through a few things on these injectors. If you haven't seen the previous video, should have been what I'll call yesterday's video, because it should have come out the day before today's video, right? Does that make sense? But it doesn't really matter, as long as you've seen them both, and you can refer to the injector information playlist for more information. We talked about the copper seats at the bottom of the injectors that there's nothing wrong with, the injectors, the engines, and of course the materials, and what leads to this leak situation here where the seats leak and it cakes up. It can block your oil pickup and starve your engine of oil. Really important to understand and know about. You don't want to jump into anything and start taking action, working on the vehicle, causing other problems till you know the risk of contamination, the risk of what parts you might end up with. Remanufactured injectors, counterfeit, too good to be true pricing. Well, it probably is. We've got the best value for money kit. Injector kit, Monday mornings, text message, 7:30 a.m. Everything you need in the kit. More information, search our channel, Injector Kit Information, latest injector. Playlists, how to buy my kits. It's so easy to find. You just need to watch the videos, subscribe, turn the bell on, don't miss another video, and you'll be informed. So we've already talked about that situation there. These have been returned for a free contamination check. So what we're going to do is take a bit of a look at the components, the internals of the old injectors and how they evolved over time between this sort of 2003, 2005, 6, 7 situation through 07, went through to, you know, whatever, and then the changes and the different components and why they sort of last as long as they do or they don't. Now these injectors, technically, they just lasted 442,000 k's. So if I'm here to sell you injectors, what I'm about to say and give you information like this, why did I just tell you this is the original set of injectors at 442,000 k's? Because some of you are thinking, well, mate, if they've done 442, I'm going to leave mine there for 4, and that's fine. Because like I said, as long as you've got 20 grand in the bank for an engine. Because this one was very lucky. I've seen this happen at a lot lower kilometers on not only 1, 2, 3 injectors. I don't think I've seen all 4, might have, but I've seen on 3 injectors that are in the 200,000 k range. It's quite common at 230,000 k. Check the injector information playlist so you can see for yourself. Maybe this one does longer highway running kilometers, and that's why I got lucky and there was only one. I'm not saying the others aren't leaking or about to leak. Looks like something's going on there, but this is not about the leaky seats. This is more about the injectors themselves, okay? But the risk is, if you don't change them, you need to change the seats. And if you do the seats and not the injectors at, say, 200,000 k's, well then risk of contamination. You've got old worn injectors, bada bing, you know, it's all in the videos. You put it all together. I've got to stop repeating myself, right? Because all the people that know already know. Okay, so this is the nozzle. This has got the nozzle. Let's have a look at the oldest style. I'm just going to give it a wipe clean, right? And there's no contamination to these, I don't think. I'm going to have a closer look at the command piston. This is the needle, the nozzle needle, right? This is what controls the fuel delivery, really. Let's see if we can get a look at that and get a bit of focus on that, right? So it's just steel, if you like. It wears on the knot in the end there. You can see some wear marks about here as well. Hard to sort of, doesn't really matter too much. And you get wear on this area as well, okay? That's your nozzle taken care of, okay? Command piston, I'm just going to give that a bit of a wipe. Just put it under the light over here and just have a look, confirm no contamination. Yep, this one has had no contamination in all of its life, okay? No contamination. Now, but you can see, can you see the wear on it? Can you see the wear? Yeah, I reckon you can. I reckon you can see that. Just how good's that? Right about, see all this stuff here? If you can see that with your eye, that is out of control how bad it is. And it is. And that's why the injectors need to be replaced. There's also other components under the solenoid valve. I'm not going to bother pulling them out. I've got bucket loads of them here and I've showed in other videos. So if you really want more info, go and check out those videos, bada bing, bada boom style, if you know what I mean. I might even drop these 2 videos both in one day because it's just out of control, important information, and that's what I'm focused on. I want everybody to understand the situation here. Wear and tear, doesn't work properly. Wear and tear doesn't work properly, and neither does the rest of it. You've got electronics there, but aren't they amazing? Credit where credit's due, that they've lasted 20 years. The engine's still running. Happy days. He's done the job right. It's going to be running much more responsive, cleaner, smoother. He's going to be going, mate, it's like a new car. And this is the awesome part. When it's awesome like a new car, that's what you want. That's how you wanted it running. Probably about 10 years ago would have been the time, but of course probably didn't know. You know, he's probably just come across the videos now. I mean, the car's only 19 years old. Now let me grab some more command pistons and stuff here. I've got a container. We'll just sit this here for now, so we might need it now. So there's some more of the typical non-DLC coded typical. You'll see the wear on these as well. You know, see the wear on there? That's part of your problem. Now the good news is, at a certain point in time, on the 150 Prado injectors and the Hiluxes from September 09 onwards, got so they got DLC. There's a DLC coating on the three wearing parts of the injector that causes problems. So the needle, the command piston, and the solenoid valve all ended up with a DLC coating, which, in case you didn't know, this is heaps harder and it's smoother. It's got less resistance, so it works easier, it works better for longer. This is what you want. This is a no-brainer, mate, people. This is what you want if you can get it. Now, unfortunately, you can't get this in all the injectors, right? So I'm going to give you a bit of a guide on that as well. We will only supply the latest full DLC injectors, brand new. That's why it's important you get new. Old sloppy injector bodies that are too small, they made them bigger so they're a tighter fit, less flex. We explained in the other video about the seats. The seats here, the clamps there, when you clamp it down, it bends a little bit. That's why it's important to use the correct torque spec. Under torque will reduce the life, the longevity of these seats not leaking. Over torqued, it might even help with that, but it's going to bend your injector and mess with the internal tolerances. Very important. It won't be working right. You'll end up with a cracked piston or some other issue, right? You might not even have been able to know or attribute that. Well, is that what caused the problem? So someone sloppy did the injectors, they've overtimed it, of course it's not working right. How can this, if this has got 1 micron of tolerance, 1, 2 microns, whatever it is, right, and that's bent a little bit, how the hell it's going to have 0? It's going to be jamming up, which is why if you have a look at all these ones here, all these, you can see a lot more on the non-DLC versions, right? You know, and there were non-DLC in the earlier 150s. Look at all the wear on that. I'll probably wipe it clean for you to have a fair view, but you know, right? You know, can you just look at all the wear on those things, right? Look how bad, look at, it's chunky, mate, you know? So these are kind of long overdue. These bigger ones, these are the 120 injectors or the Hiluxes before September 09 onwards. They still really need to be changed because the new ones don't come DLC coded on this component. That's right, it's unfortunate, but they don't. I'm not going to, you know, they're DLC injectors, yes, because the nozzle needle's coded and the solenoid valve is coded, but not, and that's where there's another company that said, oh, you know, we've got, and that's good that they had the DLC coding, but I got some there that the coating's worn off, so that's another story. And we just say, I'm not going to say don't go there because, you know, I don't want any more legal letters about it, even though they wouldn't help you because it's all true anyway. But all I'm going to say is we highly recommend only brand new genuine injectors. And of course, if you want everything you need in the kit and the backup support with the video, the proper videos how to do it, with the correct torque specs, in a group of over 1,000 people who have done the same thing that back each other up like an awesome community. That's the VIP group. 4x4 diesel VIPs, and then next step is the Crack Piston Fund if you want to know about that, to have your ultimate, not insurance, but community support from each other, you know, a bit like a co-op. Anyway, this stuff, really hard, right? Really hard material. It doesn't wear down and less friction. Just have a look at it, right? It's various in color, whatever, but just have a look how good it is. Yeah, it's not a brand new one. It's out of an old worn injector. Not much wear on that part, is there, right? Kind of like, what are we replacing them for? Kind of true. That is a little bit true. So maybe I'll unsell some more injectors here. If you don't buy them off me, don't buy them off anyone is my recommendation. Let's get a couple of these nozzle needles out and I'll show you how some of them change. Right? I wouldn't buy injectors off anyone but me. Let's have, who else does this, right? Anyway, there's a similar or same needle, let's say, right? But it's got the DLC coating. But look, they've got the DLC coating here. Let's get the two up closer for you again, right? Have a look where the coating is. Isn't that funny? See, I pointed out the wear on these needles here, about there, see that, right? And look here, oh look, you can see the coating there and you can see where it's tried to wear it, right, see that? Right, but it's just awesome. And they've coated all the way down here, right, like that one, see? Did you get that wear there? Same as bigger version, you saw it on the command pistons, right? So anyway, point is, there's your next level DLC nozzle needles, right? That's what you get in your, like your 120 Prados, those mid-06 to September 09 injectors. That's what you're going to get now. That's your old stuff, even in the 120s, not just the 05, 06, 07, went for a fair few years before they did that. Now the later injectors, now I've got to try and dig a few more out. So I've got a few more of these. There's a lot of different variations of the changes along the way, but I can't really pull out the ones I wanted because they're just buried under there. They are really buried actually. I'm just having a quick look. Bear with me, as you do, because I want to find down the bottom. Oh, well, there's some solenoid valves for you. There's a solenoid valve that's not coded, so it was worth waiting, wasn't it? There's a solenoid valve that's DLC coded, so it's all real. It's all in the older videos as well, right? This is just a recap video, DLC code. Anyway, I'm trying to find an older injector that hasn't. Trying to find one that hasn't got the DLC on. Hang on, we might have. Oh no. Anyway, bloody pain in the butt. Could probably get organised before the video, but it doesn't matter. It's in the older videos anyway. Anything you need to know, what you're finding out here is good enough anyway, right? So all that really matters is, on the later injectors, the nozzle needle's different, right? So let's have a look. Here's a DLC one, but I'll just randomly pick one out, but I want to show you the reason why they get replaced. It's not the only reason, but I mean, look, the seats are going to leak eventually. You've got to change your seats, risk of contamination, 200,000 Ks, 10 years later, whatever it is. Why skimp out and pay all the labour or do all the labour and change your seats and change this and change that? Most people that can afford a full drive, they're travelling Australia, they want it reliable, why muck around, put new squirters in it. Instead of just doing the seats, you do the whole job. Injectors, everybody knows, they're already on channel. Why am I talking about it? But anyway, right? See that you can see in the camera with nothing else but our eyes and this camera, you can see the wear on that nozzle. See on that right up where my fingernail is, right up there, right on the point, and then on the shoulder there as well. Can you see that? I mean, I can see it. There it is. Look at that. You can see that. That's why, right? So I'm going to add a little bit further to the remanufactured injector thing. I actually believe that with the latest, if you had a 14 or 15 Prado with a full DLC injectors, maybe a 13, maybe a 12, depends if they had full DLC, we'd have to get them out, look at the serial numbers and work out the dates and work out if they did have full DLC or not, right? That's how you work it out. You take a look. If we said, oh, these are clean as, they've never been out, and you manage to get them out without any contamination in the injector, and you could buy new genuine nozzle needles, like whichever one, not those ones there, whichever one, like this one here. I'm going to put it, here we go, there. These ones, right? So that's a bit different to that one. I'll put it there so hopefully you can see it. It's, a bit of a distance away. I hope you've got a big screen TV, but that's all right. I actually honestly believe that if you had a good injector and you could get it out clean, you could unscrew the nozzle, the cap here, the cap nut, get the nozzle and the needle off, right? And replace the nozzle needle, probably just the needle. I don't think you'd have to replace the whole thing, but anyway, we'd have to analyze all the parts to know. But if we did analyze them, I believe you could probably do that and then do the whole remanufacturing thing and recode them and all that, and they'd probably be okay. They'd probably be 90%, do you know what I mean? Because I believe these aren't really wearing. The inside of the injector is pretty good. The electronics is pretty good. As you can see, 20 years here, right? But the problem you've got is with the remanufacturing program, in my opinion, is they've been collecting injectors for a long time. There's lots of really old injectors. Remember what we said, 2009, it's 2023 now. 2009, these old ones, smaller bodies, non-DLC coded command pistons. So you could in 2023 say, oh yeah, remanufactured's okay because these are full DLC and you're just changing the nozzle needle, that's all you do. That's cool, no worries. Because we believe that's all they do. That's what we believe, that they just change the nozzle needle. So you end up with this old worn stuff still. This is the problem, right? And they're all in the same boxes, repackaged into the same boxes, so you wouldn't know the difference. I've said it before. You wouldn't believe it, would you? You'd think it sounds like a scam. But anyway, I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying you'd probably think that if you think, well, why would you put the new ones and the old ones in the same boxes? Why wouldn't you just see these are new? Exactly, right? Good question. Just watch the videos and work it out for yourself. Anyway, so I think that pretty well covers, the wear situation and why you want new and whatever. And they're the wearing parts. What else do we need to tell you? It's in the playlist, injector information playlists. The engines are good. They're one of the most awesome engines. I've got to tell you, they don't crack heads, they don't blow head gaskets, they don't have any. The valve clearances don't go out, the timing belts don't break. The engine itself, bloody bulletproof, and the glow plugs don't have any problems. It's one of the best engines. And when you consider it's a little 4-cylinder working in a 4-wheel drive, it's amazing. It lasts as long as it does. But when you increase the power of a 3-litre like a 1kz, small diesel like that, and increase the intake, the valves, the intake and exhaust of the engine, extra valves and cams and direct injection and more power and more torque, hello, this is awesome. It's still the same engine. So you got to change the piston to go, direct injection, common rail from a 1kz engine and all that. I'm just saying that's what it is. It's still a 3-litre diesel, do you get me? Right, so you've given it more power, something's got to give, right? So when the injectors, you really need to have everything in peak operating condition to have a chance. This is the biggest thing that's going to help you, avoiding chips and tunes, avoiding any of that stuff for a small engine like that. It's going to reduce its life, and what happens in a lot of these small diesel engines, they crack pistons. That's the thing that lets go. That's what happens, okay? It's not a big problem. It's not a 1kd problem. I've said it before. It's other engines as well. This is what we specialise in. We don't see a lot of cracked pistons, although I believe as they get older, we're going to see more of those, which is why we've got the purpose-built engine replacement workshop. Bada bing, bada boom, right? You give me a problem, we solve it, right? So bada bing. I think I'm done talking about injectors, aren't I? General recommendation, those 120 Prados, these earlier ones we talk about that don't, so I better tell you that, the 120 Prados and those Hiluxes from mid-June to September 09, they've got these command pistons, they've got DLC nozzle needles, and they've got DLC, these solenoid valves, so that's good. But these components, for whatever, I can't tell you why they don't do it. I reckon it's stupid as well, yeah? It's annoying, isn't it? I know. And that's probably one of the reasons the 150 injectors redesigned, different size nozzle needle, and command piston. It's all smaller and lighter. They're both smaller on the OD. And they are improved. They're improved injector, improved software package, and it really hides all your combustion problems until the end. So it's well documented by Toyota. Wrong combustion is the cause of cracked pistons. So they'll make the pistons stronger, they'll make them more robust, but it's not the problem, and it's not going to make them strong enough that you can prevent the cracked piston, unfortunately. And if anyone can, I would believe that Toyota can. They've had a long time to do it, and all the latest engines can still crack pistons, and that's like how many revisions of pistons. So the evidence is there. If they keep revising the piston and you can keep cracking them, you get a chip, you get a tune, it happens really quickly, it happens a lot quicker. Some people are lucky, they say, I've had mine, they've had it for 10 years, their tune and all that, but they just drive to work and back. Look up the caravan, go around Australia and really use the vehicle, work it a bit, and we'll see what happens, right? Which is what a diesel's for. If you just want to go to work and back, grab yourself a motorbike or a Suzuki Swift or a Corolla Hybrid. Anyway, I've yacked enough. I've given you a heap of information in these 2 videos about injectors and injector information. What questions have you got? I'm a one-man band. I can't do everybody's injectors. I can't even supply injectors to everybody. I can only help out the people that stick around and listen to the end like this, 18 minutes. The phone number's on the YouTube channel. The phone number's in other videos. It's a text message service only. It's only to purchase kits. It's not to text me your problems. We've got all our YouTube, our Facebook groups and pages and stuff like that, so the community can ask each other for help. And I'll come in every now and then and put an answer to help everybody in bulk. I need to help hundreds and thousands of people at once, not one-on-one. So I'm sorry, I can't really help you with your problem one-on-one. If you do want to book into the Prado Hospital, you need to get on the Prado Hospital Facebook page and read some posts and follow and like and see what I crap on about and work out when to text me so that you can try and get a booking. And if it's the wrong time and that's what I tell you, then you're just going to need to read the message and follow up at the right time, or watch another video. I think I said it's a playlist called How to Buy My Kits. I reckon what's in there will be pretty helpful. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch yous later in another video. I don't know if this one's going to go same day as the other one. It's going to keep you busy, that's for sure. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you on the next video. Subscribe and the bell on so you don't miss it. See ya.